Hi everyone, welcome to the session on how to build your growth loop by using App Store optimization and search ads. This is mainly meant for people who have mobile apps as part of their business or planning to launch an app. And this is a great session for beginners or Medior user acquisition professionals around mobile app industry. So let's get started. So the table of content, what we're going to discuss is basically, first we will start off by reviewing the whole funnel, the most common funnel that many app companies use. Then an intro on user acquisition, how it looks like in the mobile app scene. Afterwards, we'll dive a bit deeper into the growth loop itself. And of course, last but not least, I'll explain also how you can get started. So the very common funnel looks, if we compare it closely to the pirate funnel or the R funnel, we start off with awareness where we can focus on keeping track of the reach. The consideration stage is where we can see if someone's considering the app to download but still not convinced. We can track it by clicks or analyzing the web search or app searches in the stores based on keyword volumes, or also like the web page visits or app page visits. The acquisition part is mainly around installs. Activation is purely the first order or first purchase, or it can be the onboarding part or the first free use, depending what you define as an activation. The retention is quite important metric in the mobile app scene. It basically tells us if the app is successful or not, or if we see that the retention is only for 1 day or people start to uninstall it after 1 day, we can assume that we had a good on-page ASO, but the app itself was not relevant. So we kind of baited those people. The revenue part is basically everything around the monetization. The better your retention is, the more likely that people will spend money in your app. The referral stage is if people love the app, then they will refer. You can measure it with some kind of referral codes, but of course sometimes it's just word of mouth, and that's a bit hard to measure. My focus will be mainly on building a loop around awareness, consideration, and acquisition. So basically how you can fuel the volumes of traffic to your app. The very basics of user acquisition is quite similar. Like if you're a tech startup, right now what you have is like an overload of MarkTech solutions, and every year it's growing and growing. Same is true for user acquisition channels for mobile apps. You have so many channels where you can buy inventory of traffic and drive them to your app, and it's growing and growing every month, I would say. These are just a few of them, but it's really very hard to keep track of them. And in comparison to organic channels, there are only so few of them. We have the app stores themselves, or App Store for Apple, or Google Play for Google. And then, of course, we have some PR and word of mouth, which is a bit hard to track, and then the referrals. So I'm going to mainly focus around App Store optimization and App Store ads, how to combine them together to build a machine. And it's a combination of organic and paid, basically. Then if we look at App Store optimization and App Store apps more in detail, you'll notice that you have different stores or app stores on different devices. The main players are Google Play and Apple App Store, But due to trade war with the US and China, Huawei basically decided to build their own app store, which is called App Gallery, and is building quite some traction. So don't forget about that one in a year or two. I think it's going to be one of the significant players as well. And they all differ from each other, but the fundamentals are the same. Today, I'm going to take the most popular one, which is the Apple ecosystem. So we're going to start off with that, but the principles can be applied to Google Play or Huawei as well. Why is it so important to focus on your app store, on focusing your efforts on optimizing that channel? Basically, the 70% of apps are found through search, and then 65% of all downloads come from search. So that means paid acquisition from social channels, affiliate channels, and organic channels. 65% of that is quite significant. And the conversion rate from click to install of search ads is almost 50%. So as you can see, the app stores themselves are quite important to focus on. Even if you prioritize your efforts in paid, even if you drive the traffic to the stores and they don't convert, nothing will happen. So the growth loop itself, to make it visually very simple, it looks like something like this. With search ads, we drive traffic on specific keywords to the app page itself. There we're going to focus on optimizing the on-page ASO, which is going to be like the creatives and the copy, and maybe the description and the keywords as well. And we're going to try to convert we're going to try to optimize that page for conversions so that the user downloads the app. Then as a result of that download, your app will climb in rankings in the category. But in addition to that, if the user found your app via a specific keyword, your app will also grow on that specific keyword, which means next time someone is going to look or type in that keyword again, your app will rank higher, and the higher you are, the higher chances that the person is going to click on your app and eventually download it. So it's like one loop. You're going to try to optimize your search ads on specific keywords, and you fuel that to your app page, and you focus on optimizing it for conversion rates, and voila, you're going to get continuously volume, but then because you're optimizing correctly, you're getting more downloads, and you're going to climb rankings, and it will never stop if you do it properly. So the benefit is actually quite significant. It will reduce your overall cost per install. It will have direct and positive impact on your organic traffic, despite if it's being fueled initially by paid. Users who search apps are more loyal and potentially are better customers. So people are often searching because they need something, and if they find you organically or have the illusion that they found you organically, they will trust your app or give your app a better opportunity to convince the user. Thus, they will stay a bit longer. In addition to that, which is quite important, I think, is if you focus on working in this loop approach, it will basically give your team a clear strategy and framework on which steps to focus on. So it can have your team focused all the time. So, cool information, but how do you get started basically? First off, you start with App Store optimization. It's basically, what is App Store optimization? It's basically like, you can compare it to SEO. It's trying to find the right users through app stores. And the main benefit of ASO is it's going to improve your visibility in the stores on specific keywords and categories as well, better conversion rates, and increase the organic installs, which is often linked to higher revenues. And then long-term result in the sense of if it's organic installs, then the retention rates are statistically much better than when it's coming from paid install. And most important of all, you will attract the relevant users and not just baiting someone in through an ad to get some kind of reward or something like that. How does it look like? So first, you have to basically in an app store, when you type in a specific keyword, like let's say airport tycoon, it will show you all the relevant apps in the listing format. It's like when you go to Google and you type in a specific keyword, you get your SERP overview. And then of course you have in App Store different categories as well. You have like the app of the days, like gaming and normal non-gaming apps are often separated because gaming apps are such a business model on its own, so they try to split it from each other. What should you do to optimize your mobile app? So first, you start off with keyword. It's basic keyword research, understand the volumes that you have on the keyword, and then try to incorporate them as long as it's relevant to your app. Then the title and subtitle, and the creatives, like the icon of your app, the screenshots, the videos, and so on. The text itself, so like how you describe it, this, what kind of tone of voice you use, does it match your audience, what are the call to actions, etc. In addition to that, like what you should also consider is the ratings, especially in the last 30 days, and like how many ratings you got, and then amount and the content of the reviews. Basically, you can do all the ASO in the world that you want to do, but as long as your reviews are bad, no one will download it, or less people will be inclined to download it. Then, of course, the total amount of installs that you got the last 30 days and the performance of your app and the retention rate of your app will all have significant impact on the ASO part. So it's basically telling the algorithms of Apple how well your app is doing so that it can prioritize your app or not. If you don't know where to get started, you can use a tool such as like App Radar. They have like a free ASO audit inside of the tool. It gives you like a checklist where you should get started, what are the priorities, but there are so many other tools. If you're using another one, I'm sure you can get almost the same information there. So once you've done your ASO, like the basics, the fundamentals, then you can start focusing on, for example, Apple Search Ads. So how does an Apple Search Ad look like? It's like Google AdWords. Whenever you type in a specific name or a keyword, you get targeted with an ad linked to that keyword. So let's say if you're looking for Brawl Stars from Supercell, you might get targeted by a game that's trying to bid on the same keyword, which maybe looks almost the same. Same with Fortnite. If you type in Fortnite, you most definitely see some kind of an ad which is relevant to Fortnite. So Apple Search Ads, like, it's actually one of the main or only channels that you can promote, like paid promotion within App Store. Everyone can rank for first position, and so that's like a big benefit. Results, so you'll have super high competition because everyone wants to be rank 1, and you can also basically do rank on keywords, like on the branded keywords of your competitors, but they can also do the same to you. So how does it look like? Like, again, I mentioned, if you, let's say we want to play a game, or we want to download an app that's called Match 3, and we try to download it or look for it, and we get targeted with the right ad, then that's great. So that's a relevant ad, so I don't have to continue scrolling and I can download it immediately. However, if you're looking like for a PvP shooter or I don't know, a dating app, and you get an ad of a, I don't know, like car sharing or roll dice or something like that, then the ad is absolutely not relevant to that keyword. What you'll see is actually sometimes some companies, they use like the automatic bidding setting of Apple Search Ads, and then they end up ranking on absolutely irrelevant keywords and names. Like a while back, we saw a construction app that was ranking on keywords such as like Triceratops, dinosaurs, Porsche, which has nothing to do with construction. So you're basically wasting your money on those keywords. The main takeaway I would say is don't use the automatic bidding setting of Apple Search Ads. You're just going to burn your money instantly. Try to use super relevant keywords in your campaigns. Do your research first. So try to incorporate the same keywords in your ASO. Basically, if you're bidding on specific keywords or running a campaign on a specific keyword, and that keyword is already in your ASO description, it basically will fuel the organic ranks of that keyword as well. The visuals and wordings, like the creative assets, super important. Like newsstand magazine, if you go to a magazine shop and you're just browsing, what will pop out or capture your attention is purely the words of the magazine and the design or the cover picture. So the same is true for Apple Search Ads. Basically, your screenshots, you should try to focus on only having 3 screenshots, but then they should able to explain exactly what the app does within the screenshots. So in ideal scenario, whenever someone types in a name or a keyword and they see the ad, that they would click on the get button and would install directly from the ad itself. So that they would not go to the App Store page and read and try to explore and try to understand it more in detail. It's nice if that they do, but the ideal goal would be that they would just click on the get through the ad and voila. One important topic as well, like brand protection, very important. If you have an app and your app or your branded keyword has high volumes, people will start bidding on it, especially if they're your competitors. You'll see it especially true within many apps here in Belgium. I would say like transportation apps do it quite aggressively against each other, and the banking apps. So if you type in ING or Fortis, you'll see an ad from some other bank. Most of the time it's like neobanks, because like big chains, they're not super digital yet. So usually it's like the challenger banks that will target you quite aggressively. Same is true with the games, basically. The main takeaway what I can give you is basically try to consider your ASO and search ads as one, and try not to split it too far from each other. Try to look at it as like one machine that works together for the same goal. And as a recap, try to get the ASO basics done first. Only once you have the basics done, then you can explore on optimizing your search ads. Make sure that you don't overlook the visuals and the creative assets of the on-page ASO, because if you run paid search ads, it doesn't matter if you have the best budgets or best targeting in the world, as long as the creative assets are not attractive, no one will download it, or people will download it just in case, just like for the sake of checking it out, but maybe they will not use it. And search ads, yeah, try to use them as mentioned together. And voila. I hope if you have any questions, feel free to book a session on the Growth Mentor platform with me. I hope this was helpful, and I'm looking forward to hearing more from you guys on Growth Mentor. Bye.